G'day everyone, Audi555 here. Are you sick of spending lots and lots of money on Pinlock visors that only last a year at best, only to have to chuck them out and buy another Pinlock visor for your helmet? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a possible solution for you forking over lots of money. So what I have here is this. I got this off Temu. It was only maybe like $12 or something Australian, and it is a Pinlock visor knockoff. Essentially, it does the same thing as a Pinlock, but probably not as good, who knows. But it doesn't lock into the helmet, it just sits into the helmet itself and does the same thing with sitting over the visor, so it stops it fogging up. Now, the reason I bought that is because if we have a look here, I've got my Shark Evo 1 helmet, and fitted to it is a Pinlock visor. It's a little bit of plastic on the inside that sits nice and smoothly inside the visor itself. And you can see here it's got a lock on the plastic visor of the helmet where the Pinlock slots into to hold it into place. And it's got one on the other side as well. And that does a really good job. It's designed to fit this visor, and you can see it covers up the entire visor, and I think overall it's not too bad. It does the job, it doesn't fog up, and you wouldn't even know it's there. But the problem is, for me, is the Pinlock visor does not last longer than a year. Now, when I ride and open up the helmet, along the top here, if there's any dust or dirt, it ends up scraping on the Pinlock visor. So if I open and close it multiple times, it gets scraped. So what that ends up looking like is, it's a bit hard to see, but inside the visor, around here where my finger's tapping, it is very worn out. When it was in there working fine, the Pinlock was great. It came with the helmet, and for what it's worth, I think it's definitely worth having. But I don't want to have to fork out, I think it was about $70 to get one shipped to my door just to replace it. And they just pull out of the inside of the helmet, or the visor, sorry, they just come out of the inside of the visor and you replace it in there. And $70 is a lot of money for a Pinlock visor. So compared to one of these, cost effective potentially is going to be a lot better, you know. This is what this one looks like. And this is the packaging. Sorry, my camera on my gimbal is wanting to lock into my face, so this is what that is. Yeah, cheap and nasty, and that's me to a T. So it's got a film on there you've got to remove, and it looks like maybe a sticky adhesive to go inside the helmet. Maybe it doesn't stick, but we'll put that in. So now I've got to take the Pinlock visor out of my helmet and put the new one in. Now if I just hold it on here, it's got a similar sort of coverage, so if it does the job, it does the job, and I'll be quite grateful for the cheaper cost. So just having a close up here, Pinlock visor, you can see the scratches a lot easier from this angle. Yeah, just from rubbing at that point right there. But you know, it took a few months for that to appear, and I think I've had this on there for a year now, and I don't clean my helmet every day. Maybe I could avoid it by doing that, but anyway, let's fill this up with hot water. I'm just holding this over the hot water, and you can see it's not fogging up at all. The Pinlock visor does a great job. You know, there's no doubt that it is actually a well-proven product. Now it's time to take the Pinlock visor out. I've got to take the visor out. So it's just simple unclip on each side, and then I can get to the visor. Just to give you a close-up of what it looks like, this is the Pinlock 70. The difference with the number is the tint level. So 70 is a clear one. It's really good in that, but unfortunately those scratches, and there's another shot of the scratches, just really just destroys that field of view. So the size-wise, Pinlock and the knockoff, very similar, but obviously the edge bit there. Pinlock make multiple inserts for multiple visors. It's not a one-stop shop solution, so there's different models or sizes out there. Whereas this one from Temu is just a one-size-fits-all, and perhaps that approach is a better option if this actually works. I've still got some hot water in this cups, but as a baseline, I'm just showing you this. Now it's fogging up. You can see right here getting really foggy. That's without any Pinlock. So you can clearly see that Pinlock actually does work. And again, I don't want to destroy the reputation of Pinlock by saying you shouldn't get it. If I could get one for as cheap as I could get this, or maybe even twice the price of this, I would have got one. But unfortunately, with the way things are, it's just too expensive. Now I'm going to clean this up and then stick this on. Now just giving the visor a nice clean. The visor is now spotless. There are a couple of scratches on the inside there, exactly where the Pinlocks visor scratches were, but not as bad. So I think maybe it's starting to rub through, which is probably a good thing that I got rid of the Pinlock. So the instructions on the packaging say, please be sure to read instructions enclosed. So you empty it out to get those instructions, and here they come. It's a cleaning cloth. So my best guess, well, the side that's got the orange film on it with the goggles, and then the side that's got the white edging around there. I think that white edging goes inside the helmet like this, and that comes out like that. That would be my assumption, based on the fact that the Pinlock visor creates a little bubble of air inside there, and that's how it all works. So let's peel this off first. And if I get this wrong, then please feel free to berate me in the comments below. Okay, so this bit is just on the edge. Now I've probably got this slightly off center, and it may irritate me for the entire time it's on the helmet, or it might not, but we'll see. So now that's stuck on with the adhesive on the edge. Let me peel this off here, and voila, it's now on. I did bodge it a little bit by the looks of it, not on this side, but actually on this side here. This top corner looks like maybe it didn't adhere properly there, just due to the edge, but hopefully it's just enough to keep it on there. I'm not really going to notice that. Now for a bit of a fog test. No fog, and let's have a look. You can see on the edge there where the sticker isn't on, it's fogged up, but not where the knockoff Pinlock visor is, so it's working. It's pretty impressive. Now to reinstall the visor. I'll open this up. It looks like it's clearing it, but may be rubbing. Let's have a look underneath here. You probably got a better angle on the camera than I do. Oh yeah, it sticks right at the top. Let me show you that. I ended up with a better angle. So right up here, let's see if we can get that. Yeah, you can see the rubber about here underneath the S. See how the rubber picked up? And then it flicks back down. So yeah, it is touching, but only when I open it. You can see in slow motion, Pinlock visor touching. So that will evidently cause a problem in the future, right about here on the visor, and it's up. Now when it's halfway up, that's when that rubber goes down. Now hopefully I can negate that maybe with some silicone spray on that rubber, or just come up with a way of opening that helmet, maybe faster or something, and then it's not going to catch. And it's really coping well there. So just to reiterate, in case you've skipped to the end of the video, this is the knockoff one from Temu that is installed in lieu of a Pinlock visor. Now I am getting a bit of fog happening here, but this is a freshly boiled cup of water. That is very hot, that water. So perhaps this isn't actually going to be an issue. Actually, this is fogging in between the layers. Now the Pinlock would never have done that, so this is getting moisture somehow in there. This may actually be a death trap. But really, the only way I'm going to be able to know for sure is by taking the bike for a ride on a cold morning to see if the fog, well, if the visor fogs up. That's the words I'm trying to say. Coffee has worn out.
Okay, so it's the next morning now. It's a bit of chill in the air. Had to have the fire going last night, and we're going to test this visor out on the road. Alright, so I've just been for a quick ride, and I can tell you so far the results are quite positive. If I close the visor, initially it doesn't fog up, which is good, and if I leave my chin flap, which is this bit here, if I leave that in the up position, then I'm getting a lot of ventilation coming in from the bottom of my helmet, and it doesn't fog up. So the next test I'm going to do now is close everything up and stay stationary. So I'm expecting to get a little bit of fogging appearing inside the helmet, because the Pinlock did that as well. So that's closed. Chin flap is now closed. That vent is closed, and I think these are closed. Yeah, all of it's closed. Right, and now I'm talking, and you'd expect that when I'm talking that it would start fogging up. Overall, the stick-on visor that I got from Temu does a great job. It has stopped the visor from fogging up, and it's nice and clear. Like you can see, there's no blemishes in that whatsoever because it's new. Compared to my Pinlock that had a lot of scratches. Only time will tell how long it lasts for. But if I can get a year out of this visor, then the cost is still 1/5 of what it would cost me to get a Pinlock. So it's still a good job. So overall, I think it's alright. I'll leave in the comments below how it goes over time and if there is any issues whatsoever. Alright, thanks for watching. As usual, keep safe out there on the road. Stay on two wheels and not on your head. And I'll see you all next time. Laters!